Okay, so we're messing around with parallel and perpendicular lines, and who can remind me all about them? Oh, we did that. What's the deal with parallel lines? Straight away, oh, yep.
They run side by side to each other.
They run side by side, and so they have the same slope. Oh, PP, parallel, perpendicular, SS, same, anyway. And if they're perpendicular, they intersect at a right angle, and yes, flip and reverse. So the negative reciprocal, oh, flip and reverse. Did you read that or you knew? So we were then doing, oh, Promethean man. That was Promethean man. We were then looking at some of the questions that relate to the parallel and perpendicular. Ready for your test. All right, so question 5. Consider the points A, B, C, D. And we notice straight away that D has got an unknown value there. Watching this way. Now, part A is saying, can you please find T? So find T if they are parallel. So as soon as we see that and we go it's parallel, what are we thinking? Same slope. So we're going to work out, I was a little bit shonky here, but anyway, we're going to work out the slope of AB. Okay, 4, take 0, that's why we've got this. And then because I started with this 4, it'll be 1, take 2. Correct? If you went 4, take 0, and then minus 1, take 1, you're going to end up with a minus 2 instead of a plus 2. I can see some people are frowning, and so have they actually gone back and reminded themselves, because they had their day off yesterday, what is the equation of, what is the formula to find the slope? It's rise over run, thank you, y2 take y1 over x2 take x1, or vice versa. You will start seeing me write this soon, because I can't be bothered writing the whole shebang-a-bang. That's the change in y over the change in x. Same thing, less work for me. Yeah. Is that what the triangle means? Yeah. So we pop that in because we're saying because they're parallel, they have the same slope. We pop the equals in there. And now I work out the slope of CD. So once again, 3. I went minus 1, take 3. No, I didn't. Yes, I did. Oh, what did I do? Yes, so I went minus 1, take 3, so minus 4, and then T take 6, boom, boom. We've got this situation here. Mystery student, what do we do when we've got this situation? Algebra, right? We're going to cross multiply and then solve. Huzzah? You can see when it goes to part B, oh, that's still AC is parallel. Well, I'll give you 5 minutes while I get Oscar set up for his test. So try A without looking too much at the board, and then try B. All right, so with B, we've again got AC is parallel to DB, which means those two lines have the same slope. So I'm going to work out, let's go this might be set out a little bit better than I did before if that confused you. So what is the slope of AC? Now when you're writing this in your book, my tip to you is to write the point A and then write the point C. Bless you. Otherwise, how many times are people going to mess it up and accidentally use part of point A and part of point B instead of C? So write it nicely. And we're going to go y2 take y1. So remember, the y's first. So do you want to go 4 take 3 or 3 take 4? It doesn't matter. 4 take 3, we just have to now be consistent. So 4 take 3 on top. And because I start with the 4, then it's 1 take 6. So we end up with 1 over 1 take 6 is negative 5. And I'm just going to write negative 5. Are we happy with that? All right, so far so good. Now we're going to work out the slope of DB. DB, DB, DB. So I'm going to write, so D is T minus 1 and B is minus 1, 0. So you're just doing that, so you're less likely to make an error. So here we go, D, B. Once again, we have to start with the y's. You get to choose, mystery student. Do you want to go -1 take 0 or 0 take 1? You want to go 0 take 1? Fair enough. 0 take 1 is 1. Nice. And then we've got -1 take t. Do we agree with that? Degree of difficulty, very low. Now, because they said the lines were parallel, what does that mean? I can now say, since they're parallel, what's that? They are the same. They are, what's another word for same? Equal. So I'm going to actually say that -1/5 equals 1/-1 take t. We happy with that? Simples? If you want to, you can do the whole, oh, look at that, there's a -1, that's a 1. We could sort of put the minus here, and therefore that has to equal that. But let's not confuse you on a Friday. How do we get rid of the fractions? Cross multiply. So -1 times, so you can go -1 times -1 take t equals 5 times 1 is 5. And is everyone comfortable to solve this now? That was a yep, but I feel like I'll just finish it because, oh, let's not leave things unfinished. Negative times a negative is a positive. Negative times a negative is a positive, equals 5. Therefore, to get rid of that 1, we are going to take 1. So t must be 4. We are done here. Okay, so part C. AB is now not parallel anymore. It's perpendicular. Yes.
How would you write that as like the first way thinking is of like saying, you know, the 2 points are equal, like.
Right, instead of saying the two slopes are equal, exactly, how do we go with what happens when they're perpendicular? So I don't know if you remember, those people who are doing the test, obviously you don't remember, but way back, and even at the start of this lesson, we were talking about, well, probably here, man, we said that perpendicular slopes, negative reciprocal, so you flip and reverse the sign. Okay, this is another bit that sometimes, Jack, when I'm talking to the class at the start of the lesson, sometimes I don't feel that I have got people's attention. And I'm reminding about the previous lesson because I think that some of you will probably forget, as well as some people have been absent. So can we now have the common courtesy to make sure that we are sort of listening? And if you're away, you've got to look at OneNote to see what you missed. So anyway, with slopes, when they're perpendicular, if I had a slope of 2/5, the perpendicular slope, we flip and we reverse the sign. So it's -5/2. Why was I then just talking to the side of your head? Exactly. Right, if it's 3/1, the perpendicular slope is -1/3. We're getting the gist of that. So knowing that, how do you think that could help us to solve this current question? One more. AB is perpendicular to CD. Yes. Let's find the slope first. Absolutely. So can we find the slope of AB? Absolutely. 4 take 0. I mean, you should already have that in your book from part A. So you've already found the slope of AB, agreed? So you can just write it and say, oh yeah, it was 2/1. Now, what is the slope of CD? Do you agree? 3 take 1, 4 all over 6 take t. Are we happy with that? Okay, here comes the bit. What are we going to make our equation, our equals thing? If this is 2/1 and this is 4 or whatever, but they're perpendicular to each other, what am I going to do? Oh, you're on fire, yeah? Flip and reverse. Now, I can't flip and reverse both of them, can I? Because that just wouldn't make sense. So you pick one to flip and reverse, and it doesn't really matter which one. Which one would you like to do? Okay, so because this is perpendicular, we can now say What is the perpendicular slope of 1 over 2? Sorry, 2 over 1? Yep. Negative 1 over 2. And that has to equal. Does that make sense? Jack's frowning at me. So if I had two lines, let's say that this was 3 over 2, wouldn't this one have to be minus 2 over 3? So this is what we're saying. We're going, this slope, it's not parallel to this one, it is perpendicular. So if this was 2, the perpendicular slope to this is minus 1 over 2. Therefore, that's what this has to equal. And now it's the same situation as what we were doing before. We just do the, okay? Now we just do the cross multiplying, so it's alge again. So can we finish that? I think D is going to be pretty much the same. Consider we've got 3 points. Show that the triangle PQR is isosceles. Don't really want to draw and then measure the line. So for starters, what's so special about an isosceles triangle? Pardon? 2 equal sides. They're not all equal. If they're all equal, that's an equilateral, okay? So in order to prove that it's an isosceles triangle, we either prove that 2 sides are the same or the bottom 2 angles are the same. What do you want to go with? Considering we've done, yes, 2 sides, because that would mean we're using what formula? We've got midpoint, distance, slope. Which formula is going to help us to find the distance between 2 points? Yes, your distance formula. I was just going out to have a look. You okay? You okay? You okay? Welcome back. Welcome. Thank you. All right. So, isosceles, we want to prove 2 equal sides, which means you're going to now take a bit of a punt. Okay? Because technically you should work out all 3 sides and say, okay, look, these 2 are equal and this one isn't. But we're going to be a little bit risque on a Friday. We're going to see, can we just find what are the 2 equal sides? So what do you want to do? Do you want to find PQ? Do you want to find QR? Or do you want to find PR? So 2 of these are the same. 1 is not. Which one are you going to go for? Which 2? You might not agree with the others in the class. Do you get what I'm saying? Silence, crickets. Okay, so which ones are we going to try? PR and QR, all right. If they're different, that means we're going to do a third calculation. No pressure. No pressure. So,
I didn't even realise it was a question. I just did the diagram.
Did the diagram first. All right, so PQ, distance of PQ. It's showing quite good that you've read the whole question, which is nice. Oh, you don't. I'm trying to save you. All right, PQ. Shh. So can you see? All I want is the difference of the x's squared. So I could go 1 take 5. I'm just going to go, 5 take 1. So everything's positive. Not that it matters, because when you square a negative, you get, do I have to write 5 take 1 or can I just write 4? Thank you. 4 squared, right? 5 take 1 is 4 squared. 7 take 5. 2 squared. I heard that. So 16 plus 4, I get root 20. Anyone remember what's going to happen if I type that into my calculator? It will give me, that is a surd, but it will give me a simplified surd, right? I mean, I don't have to because I'm just trying to prove that they're the same. But remember, this is root 4 times root 5, which becomes 2 root 5. Okay, what about QR? I feel I have to change the colour for QR. Q to R. 5 take 3 is 2, so that's 2 squared. 7 take 1. Oh no. 7 take 1 is 6. Oh dear. 36 plus 4 is root 40. Oh, now he's saying he said PR. If we could go back to the recording on that one. Distance of PR. 3 take 1 is 2 squared 1 take 5 is minus 4 squared. And lo and behold, we get root 20. So winner, winner, chicken dinner, we've got 2 lengths the same. So therefore, PQ equals PR, therefore isosceles. We happy with that? Do you need me to help you with B? No, that's good. Shh. Hang on, Susan. Before you take off, use gradients to verify that. Sorry, I'm talking to the class. Use gradients to verify PM is perpendicular to QR. So how could you verify that these lines are perpendicular? Pardon? Yeah, what about their slope? Find the slope of both, and one has to be not the opposite, but the negative reciprocal. Yeah? Go, you good thing. I think we should get a bit more of a wiggle on. We've got distance, we got midpoint still. I think we should now establish that if two things are perpendicular, we know one will be the negative reciprocal of the other. It's just now practicing and being careful. If two lines are parallel, then their slopes will be equal. We know that. So please, 8, 9. Now 10. 10 is, have a go, but you might not be able to find S, although, can you just look at this, and that would mean you're writing this down maybe in your book going question 10, hint, because you're going to do some of this for homework. Do you know that distance there? Don't call out. Do you know this distance? And I would say, yes, you do. You can say in a minute, Zoe. Wait. I don't want you to do a diagram at the moment. I want you to look at that. And I want you to give me a little bit of a wave if you think you know, just from looking at the diagram, what that distance is. Oh, thank you. I wave at you. I wave at you. I wave you back. Waving. Okay, Zoe, hit me. What is that length? Carter, sorry, what's this length? That's right, instead of listening. So someone's just told you the answer to this and you have missed it because you weren't listening. So please say again. It's 10. Why? It's the radius, that's right. And how did you know the radius was 10? Because it says here from the center out horizontal 10. So that is your hint for 10A, that you've got the distance from here to here must be 10 because it's the radius, okay? You're going to make sure that you have a chat about that. I think I might, I don't like doing this, but anyway, you're going to hope. Collinear. That was just a term that we had to find out. What does that mean? Don't even want you to look at the example there. What does collinear mean just from the word? Let's whack our English in. Collinear. Try it, yeah? Same line. I like it. It means if 3 points are collinear, that means they are all on the same line. So this is this point A, B, C, they are collinear. Sadly, one of them is not like the other, right? D is not collinear with AB or BC or CD, right? Now, if A, B and C are collinear, what else do they have in common? Same slope. Same slope. So these questions, I would argue that we've sort of done them already, especially question 2. You'll be the first one to go, what am I doing? I don't know. And yet you're not listening at the moment. So collinear means same slope. Look at question 2. I think we've already done this. It's just worded differently. Isn't this the same question that we started with up here, where we were given various points and we said parallel or perpendicular? Here, we're saying these 3 points, and there's an unknown, they are all collinear. In other words, they all have the same slope. Capiche? So just like that question we did before, you will work out AB, you'll get the slope. Then you'll work out, you could either go BC or AC, and hey, they have to equal each other. I'm going to leave it up to you. Do you have to do part 1? If you can tell me, if someone here, let's say from the middle row, if someone from the middle row can explain to me how they would do question 1, the rest of the class doesn't have to do it, no pressure. And we'll pause.